Hey guys, BrickWizard59 here and welcome back to a brand new video. And today is the first update of this new mini series I'll be doing. So this is my Venator class Star Destroyer MOC. Again, looks pretty awesome. However, there are definitely some flaws with it. You can see it's not in the best of shape. And my goal through the series is to kind of rebuild and update this design. So here is kind of the original design. You can see a lot of pieces missing, and overall even the accuracy is definitely lacking, and then the stability as it's breaking in quite a few places, almost impossible to kind of lift up now without having it break. And again, this was made a couple years ago, but since then definitely improved in building techniques. So my plan is to rebuild this from scratch, tear it all down and rebuild it, except make it updated and more accurate. Size will be similar. Mainly my goals are to fix kind of the shape. Well, you could see how it kind of angles in. I mean, the shape is decent, but I definitely think it could be a bit more accurate. For one, I also want to do a lot of tiling, so a lot of studs showing. But my goal is that, you know, I want to try and make it much more tiled and smooth and have less studs showing. Again, not sure exactly how that's going to be working, but if I use 2x2 tiles, 2x4 tiles, I'll see how it looks, but that's definitely my goal. More tiles, less studs exposed. Then in the actual mock video, many of you said that the emblems were too small and the stripe was too thin. So we're going to fix that. The stripe is going to be much more accurate where it won't be a straight line. It's going to be, the back section will be about 6 studs, but the kind of front section, we're going to make it kind of angle backwards. So after like 8 studs, it's going to have wedge plates, and then it'll get thicker in the middle, and then more wedge plates and get thicker at the end. So it's going to kind of angle outward while going back, which is again more accurate. So that's kind of the main 3 things I'll be fixing on the top. And then the bridge also isn't the best. It's a bit small, not the best size bridge, so we're going to be fixing that as well. And then the engines are falling apart, so we're going to be fixing that as well. So basically we're fixing the whole build, destroying it, rebuilding it, and I thought I'd go ahead and just take you along in the ride in this cool little mini series. Again, now it's summer, a lot more time to build, so I think this would be a nice fun series for sure. So basically in this update, we're going to do is work mainly on the frame. So I'm going to tear it down, and then we're going to get working on a sturdy frame, because even if you look now, the frame is definitely breaking. You can see there, the frame was not properly built, so it already broke over there. This part's breaking apart. It's not great. So definitely stability will have to be improved, and definitely the overall design. I'm also kind of debating a bit as to whether I should even use this kind of design with kind of a plate section on the bottom and the top. Again, we'll see about that, but again, we're going to go ahead and just get started. And first off, work on the frame and then go from there. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, and welcome back. So I've gone ahead and started work kind of on the frame of the build. So again, if you had seen my previous mock, I only ended up building kind of the frame for this section, and there was no frame for the back. So now I've just made one frame, and that's kind of where I'll build off of. And here's kind of my first attempt. So the front section I like in terms of its size, and even this section over here, but it's this back section which I'm not the biggest fan of, especially kind of the back over there. So I'm going to do a bit more work and kind of get the shape right, but again, it will be covered up. But again, this is a good start, as you can see there. Definitely liking the size. I have made about 8 bricks, made this section here about 8 bricks taller, and then kind of left the rest of it kind of a similar size to what the previous build was. But again, I think it's coming out well. And one thing I mainly did do is the entire frame is only one row of Technic bricks. So the previous mock had two rows of Technic bricks on top of each other. This is like one row, so kind of the frame is thinner, making the entire ship, when it's done, a bit more thinner and a lot more sleeker looking. And again, I think that will look much better. So there's a quick update on that. I'll get to more work. Now we're going to have to kind of make the partitions here and here. So you'll have your kind of 3 sections, and then also do some work in the back. And then the frame will be done. And then the next step will be adding kind of the plated base where we kind of on the bottom. So there's a look at that. But anyways, I'll go ahead and continue working. Alright, so I was working for some time, and this is what I've come up with for the frame. So it's quite large, can't really fit all the way inside my background, but I'm really happy with how this has turned out. So basically what the plan is, again, in my first version of this MOC, I did not really have a complete frame around the ship, as in the first version, only up till this point onward was where the frame was. This section, there wasn't really a frame, it was just plates. So it was definitely not as stable in the back. So now I've made a complete frame using Technic. I've kind of reinforced it, so it's pretty stable. It's just the back can move a bit, so that again I'll fix by attaching probably when the plates are attached, that will be fixed. And then also one of the big things you can see is I've been used only one layer of Technic all around. The previous MOC had 2 Technic bricks stacked on top of each other, but I've gone ahead and done one. So again, that'll make it look a lot more sleeker, because the actual ship will be a bit thinner, which will make it look sleeker and more accurate. So I think that'll be terrific. Again, you can see a look with some of Clone Troopers here for reference. But again, I'm so happy with how it's turned out. In terms of the interior, you won't be able to stand minifigures, but you will be able to have them sitting down. So I think that's still pretty fine. I'm alright with that. So that's a look at that. And again, you can kind of see the 4 main sections. Well, 1 section here, 2 section, 3, 4. And in the back, you'll have like the Technic structure to hold up the bridge. And then on each side, maybe a smaller 5th and 6th section for an interior. So I think it's going to be terrific. Now what we'll go ahead and do is kind of work on the base, get the plate base attached below, so there'll be all the plates underneath so you can actually stand the figures, and then that'll kind of finish the skeleton of the build off, and that's where we're going to end this segment off. So let's go ahead and continue with that. Alright, and welcome back. So I ended up going ahead and building the base of the ship, so at least a part of it. So I built a plate base for the entire section over here. So that's all covered. You can kind of see how I ended up placing it, because of the fact that the bricks of these kind of partitions didn't perfectly line up with the studs of the base. I ended up having to use this technique with Technic pins. They kind of offset it such that it can actually be connected. But again, I think it's looking terrific. So we got the base for this section done and firmly attached. It's at 1, 2, 3, and 4 points of connection. When we get the back section later on, that will be 5. But again, I'm really happy with how it's turning out. Again, it's barely fitting in the background. You can kind of see there. And I also did end up adding some of the greebling on the side, just to kind of give you a bit of a look at how that would turn out. But anyways, there you go. So that's going to go ahead and do it for this update. Thank you so much for watching. So we got quite a bit of work done. We got the whole frame set and also a part of the base done. But I'm really liking the progress we have so far. And I definitely think this is going to be a fun build. And I think this will be definitely much better than the previous version. Hopefully a lot more stable. In this case, it is about 6 to 12 studs longer and than the previous build. So that's really awesome. And that's going to do it. So thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more updates coming very soon. The next one will probably be within a week. And hopefully within a couple weeks, we can get this pretty much all done. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more videos coming very soon, including another Star Wars project. I'm going to be building the Separatist Super Tank from the Clone Wars, so there will be an update on the first update of that series also coming out very soon. And then, of course, building Hogwarts, as well as a few other videos. But But anyways, this is Breakwizard 59, and I'll see you all next time.